Affordable watches are really attractive right now. You can get an incredible watch for less than a night out with your girl and still get sapphire crystal, automatic movements, even a jump hour complication. Hey, there you are, and welcome to My Dude Watch. My name is Jason, and today I've got an Aliexpress haul for you. We're going to go through each one of these and see if they're a hard pass or if there's value in each one of these pieces. You don't want to miss this. This is going to be fun. You know the deal. Grab a snack, pull up a chair, and let's talk watches. All right, we are ready to run through each one of these pieces, but first, a quick reminder. You only have a couple of days left to enter the watch giveaway that is happening right now. We are passing along this very nice Aura Date 003 to one lucky winner. Now, entering is super simple. I just need you to subscribe to the channel, say, "Hey dude," in the comments section, or simply tell me where you're watching from. That's it, simple enough, and you'll be all set. All right, let's get on with it, and I think the best place to start is the cheapest watch in today's lineup. The Benyar BY50 176 automatic. Now, right away, this thing almost feels suspicious because for around $44, you're getting an automatic mechanical movement, 50 meters of water resistance, and a 41 millimeter case size. And that's kind of wild to think about. Now, the movement is the Chinese G2666Z. It seems to work fine for the price. I will say a lot of reviews stress it's much better than they expected. Now, you can actually get something that looks decent, well-balanced, and honestly feels surprisingly solid for the money. Now, let's be clear, this isn't pretending to compete with higher-end micro brands, but at $44, does it even matter? Now, are there compromises? Of course there are. It's a $44 watch. Now, long-term durability is still the big question mark with watches like this and at this price range. But for someone just getting into watches or a teenager wondering if he's going to get into watches, this would be a fun place to start. Next up is the Rollstimi RT7931, and this is very nice and a great summer piece because visually this watch has way more presence than I expected for just over $70. Check out this dial color too, it just looks awesome. You're getting a VK63 Mecha Quartz chronograph movement, sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, and dimensions that work really well for a sporty chronograph. As far as the measurements go, you get 40 millimeters in case diameter, 48 millimeters lug to lug, and it's about 13.8 millimeters thick. Now remember, you're getting a Mecha Quartz, and to me it just makes sense because you still get that satisfying chronograph snap and reset without paying mechanical chronograph money. And for what Rollstimi is giving us here, is there really anything to complain about? The finishing on this guy is solid. This is a nice piece. The biggest challenge they have is the competition itself because they are in a crowded field. You've got brands like Wishdoit, Addiesdive, WM Watch, and a ton more, all fighting for the same buyer now. And to me, that means value alone isn't enough anymore. You have to find a way to stand out, and at a $70 price point, that's a tough fight. Now, this watch right here, this is the Addiesdive AD2536, and this may be one of the best pure value watches in the video because once the light hits that textured dial, you immediately understand why people keep talking about this watch. Yes, you get 316L stainless steel, you get sapphire crystal, even a ceramic bezel, and the dimensions are really good. You get 41 millimeters in case diameter and 48 millimeters lug to lug, so not bad at all. Owners of this piece understand one thing about this guy. They don't have to brag on it. They just let the watch speak for itself because it has personality. Now, the biggest debate with Addiesdive continues to be the branding. Some people simply cannot get past the logo and the name. And at around 13.5 millimeters thick, this isn't exactly a slim watch either. But I got to tell you, once you see the dial in person, you kind of stop caring, especially around $90. This is the kind of watch that reminds you just how competitive affordable watches have become. Now, the Pagani Design PD 1784 may honestly be the most complete overall package in this lineup because this thing just feels incredibly balanced. You are getting 316L stainless steel throughout, a ceramic bezel with this warm butter white numerical scale, and proportions that honestly work for a lot of wrists. 40 millimeters in case diameter, 47 millimeters lug to lug, and it's about 12.4 millimeters thick. And this is where Pagani continues to be dangerous because for under $100, the specs per dollar ratio is honestly ridiculous. Now, the Pearl DG5833 movement still does have a mixed reputation depending on who you ask. Some collectors have had pretty good experiences with it, while others still prefer the long-term reputation of something like an H35. But at this price point, the overall package here is honestly hard to argue with, especially visually. This thing just looks more expensive than it has any right to. Okay, now we got to talk about this one. This is a Specht Sohne SP00031, and this one here is interesting because this thing has personality, it has character, it has really good workmanship. You get a Seagull ST1721 jump hour movement, excellent craftsmanship, a retro square case dial, and a watch that generally feels different than almost anything else in this video. You know what else it gives you? A very hard time reading the time. You will not be able to get time at a glance on this one. Now, the sizing is interesting too. It's 34 millimeters wide, 45 millimeters lug to lug, and only 10.4 millimeters thick. But because it's square, it actually wears larger than those numbers would suggest. But the deal breaker for me is that tiny hour aperture. For older eyes like mine, it can be difficult to read. So this isn't necessarily a practical piece, not for me anyway. But for some people, that is part of its charm. And finally, we've got the Wishdoit WSD 9026. And this is an interesting watch because it sits at the top end of the pricing in today's video at around $170. So naturally, the expectations start changing. At this price point, you're no longer competing against ultra budget watches. Now you're competing against stronger Aliexpress offerings, even some entry-level micro brands. Now, let's be fair because this thing does bring a lot to the table. 316L stainless steel, sapphire crystal, strong BGW9 lume, 150 meters of water resistance, and dimensions that honestly hit a sweet spot. This guy is 40 millimeters in case diameter, 48 millimeters lug to lug, and only 12 millimeters thick. And overall, the watch feels really good. But let's not forget that Wishdoit has a challenge here because once you start approaching this price range, buyers naturally become more selective. Because now the question changes from, is it cheap, to is it the best place to spend my money? And that's a much tougher category. Well, there you go, a 6-piece Aliexpress haul. We'll put links in the description just in case you want to go there, check them out, and see if there's anything that's right for you. Just remember, if you decide to make a purchase, My Dude Watch may get a small commission, but you don't pay more. And one last thought before we get out of here. If you're interested in today's watch giveaway, make sure you subscribe to the channel, say, "Hey dude," down in the comments section, or simply tell me where you're watching from. You'll be entered and I'll take care of the rest. We'll have a drawing in a couple of days. Hey, you made it to the end of another video. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please take the time to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It'll only take you a second, but it really does help. And we checked the time and it is time to wrap it up. So we will close the show. My name is Jason with My Dude Watch. We'll do it all again next time. But wait, don't forget, dudes can't be late.